So Jaren, tell us about the program that you have down at the Schliemann House.
Well, first of all, August is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. International. It's celebrated then all over the world.
Right.
So we wanted to bring on Kathy McDonald, who facilitates our breastfeeding class at the Schliemann Center. So we've got her here with us today. She is a wealth of information. It's just a super great program that we have through Baxter Regional. As I was sharing, I was out of town a couple weeks ago visiting with some friends who, she went to a major health system, women's hospital, and I had to call Kathy for some help.
Wow.
So that just was a testimony to our facility and our facilitators. So Kathy McDonald's here with us today, and I'm just going to let her explain a little bit about World Breastfeeding International Breastfeeding Month and Breastfeeding Week, and I guess just kind of explain to our listeners the importance of breastfeeding for mothers and babies.
We're probably we are the only species that feeds our infants other species milk. It's probably not as good for them as mama's own milk is.
Yeah.
Many advantages to the baby. There's a decreased incidence of many childhood diseases as well as long-term diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. Advantages to the mother. If you breastfeed for 5 years of your life, it doesn't have to be 5 years with the same child.
Oh, good.
Yes, we're glad to hear that.
Clarification, okay.
But a total of 5 years, there's an increased incidence for that woman of breast cancer, uterine cancer, and ovarian cancer.
Wow.
And those are really powerful statistics.
So it reduces those risks.
Exactly.
That's great. Oh,
exactly.
goody. Yay,
and I don't know why we don't hear more about that. I think we should.
Yeah.
But also the bonding, the closeness that develops. The focus this year of World Breastfeeding Week, which kicked off last year and the education will continue through this coming year, was for working moms.
Yes.
Making it work is
yes.
their theme.
Yeah.
How do you go back to work and continue breastfeeding?
Right.
And it is very possible to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women feel that the advantage of continuing to breastfeed when you return to the workplace is you have that special time then when you get back home with your infant and you can do something nobody else can do. You can breastfeed that baby.
Sure.
So how is it possible then for women that they get their 6 weeks off, 8 weeks, and then they might be starting to stress because I'm going to have to go back to work.
Right.
I'm going to have to take my kid to the sitter. How do I continue breastfeeding and giving them that nutritional value and still having that special time?
There are federal laws that mandate that women be allowed to have time and a place in the workplace to pump, and using a good quality breast pump is ideal. The Schliemann Center actually rents Medela pumps, which are kind of the Cadillac or Lexus of breast pumps.
Yeah.
So it is very possible to do. We do cover going back to work in the breastfeeding class, and certainly I'm available. I always give my phone number out to the class so people can call me with questions, because I've not only been a lactation consultant for 26 years now.
That's awesome.
But I breastfed all 3 of my children and worked. So.
Yeah, and I breastfed both of my daughters and also worked, and I was surprised when I talked with Jaren one day about, I just thought everyone knew the benefits of breastfeeding. I thought at this day and age, everybody's going to know how beneficial that is to the mother and to the child especially, but was surprised at the number that didn't.
That don't know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I've been surprised by a number of things here with folks, coming in to deliver their babies that have not gotten a whole lot, if any, prenatal care.
Right.
And education.
And education.
Yes.
So,
that's the key.
And that is the key. So this is, now you have this on Tuesdays?
Yes, the Schliemann Center offers breastfeeding classes once a month, and also childbirth classes, and then a weekly women, newborn, and infant support group. So new moms can come in with their babies if they have questions about breastfeeding, if they have questions about their health, if they just want to come in and get the baby weighed, and it's free of charge. So we do have those programs that we offer at the Schliemann Center. And Kathy, just tell us a little bit about how important that education piece is
Oh,
before they
gosh.
actually deliver? You know, how does that play into?
When you have a new baby, that's probably the worst time in your life to be learning new skills. And that's exactly what you're doing, because you've been through the process of birth and your body changes and the hormonal changes. So prenatal education, especially about breastfeeding, is really very important to
Because
your
people expect it to
success.
come naturally, which to a
Exactly.
certain extent, I guess it does.
Well,
But
it's a skill, though.
It
It's
is
like,
a skill.
You know,
I
it's
can
natural for
speak
us.
from experience, not with
Exactly.
the first one.
Exactly.
No.
It's a skill to walk, but we have to learn how to
Yeah,
do
do
it.
it.
It's
Oh,
a
yes.
natural thing for
Yeah.
us to walk.
Yeah.
and you have somebody, you know, helping and showing
Right,
you how.
exactly, and that's kind of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
model I like to use for breastfeeding. We can help you walk and take those first steps and get started, and hopefully you'll
Yeah.
breastfeed as long as you and the
As you
baby both want to.
Want to, yeah.
That's
No, but
great.
you're right. I mean, it's not something I can still, you know, bless her heart. A night nurse, when I delivered my first one, the day nurses, it was sort of like, it was easier and more convenient for them if
them,
I
that's
didn't
right.
breastfeed.
That's right, yes.
So that was back in the, you know, my baby is just turned 41.
Aw.
So we're talking a long time ago, but even
Yeah.
then it was
Right.
within the hospital. I mean, after I delivered the baby, they said, would you like the shot that will dry your milk up? And I said, oh, no, I'm breastfeeding. And it was like, oh,
You're one of those.
yeah, yeah.
Well, our Women in Newborn Care Center has recently made the renovations to become more baby friendly.
Yes.
And so we do have the rooms where the baby goes to the room with mama.
Right.
So
rooming
does
in.
that also help with?
That helps
That helps,
tremendously to
yeah.
keep the baby with you as much as possible after delivery, so you can get to know each other. And that's where my baby wants to be, is with mom.
Sure.
Now, what about for women who deliver via cesarean? Is it still possible for them to breastfeed? Are there other
Absolutely.
complications?
Absolutely.
or-
There's no reason not to
Okay.
breastfeed. I'll brag on my daughter. She delivered by C-section, and at 15 months is still breastfeeding. So,
Oh,
Excellent.
wow.
Yeah.
so it's very easy to do
Great.
once you get it established.
Yeah.
So what is the time period, or what's a realistic expectation for mothers? You know, should they expect the baby just to latch on right away, or should there be a little?
Some babies do and others don't, so we just kind of work through any little roadblock that may come along. But it's perfect, you know, they want to nurse, they want to be with mom, so usually just some helpful guidance from the nurses
Sure.
is what it takes
Yeah.
to get things started.
Wake up, baby, wake up.
Yes, because they're sleepy right after they're born. They've been stressed
they
too.
Just, yeah.
They have.
So, well, we are so thankful to have you at the Schliemann
thank you.
Center
And
and
The fact that
facilitating.
it's a free program, and I mean, now tell me about, I'm trying to think about this scale that you're using. You can actually weigh a baby before they nurse
And after.
and after, and you'll see the ounce difference.
Right, you'll
That's-
see the intake,
And,
which
yeah.
is real reassuring for new
And it
moms.
weighs
Yeah.
down to the teaspoon. It can tell if the
Yes,
baby's
it
received.
can tell how
Really?
much
That's
it's an
amazing.
amazing scale.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
a really good scale.
And then we also have the breast pumps too, so I just want to reiterate that.
Yes.
Our breast pumps that we rent are the same ones they use on the Women's Center, the Medela brand. And we do rent those monthly for as long as they're needed. And that is what kind of enables these women to go back to
Yes,
work.
Yes.
That's great. It's absolutely great. And as you said, Kathy, you know, all of the benefits from a child that nurses, it just is
It just
amazing.
keeps going throughout their lifetime.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah, I think it just wards off a whole lot of disease and everything else. My kids
Absolutely.
just went kind of sailing through that first
Absolutely.
year.
It also saves money too, coming
Yes, it
from a
does.
frugal, because you're not having to purchase formula.
It costs about $3,000 to formula feed for the first year.
Wow.
Really?
And a good quality pump, if you even buy one, Medela also sells pumps, is much less expensive than
Yeah,
that.
that's
Wow.
amazing. What do you rent those for?
We rent the pumps for $30 a month or
Which is
$1
a
a
real
day.
bargain.
So it is.
That's,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no profit in it at all. It's just, covering the cost of the
You
equipment.
just want to
So-
get it back.
Exactly. Just get the,
Right,
yes,
right.
and
Yeah.
have people take care of them. But we've
Yeah.
not had any problems, and the women love it. Some of them keep them that whole first year. So we're glad to be able to provide that for
And,
sure.
and just everyone to get together to share information, share their, and really, that old, any kind of support group, no matter what it is, to gain someone else's knowledge or
That's
to
right.
feel like you're not alone, or
Right.
I'm the only one that's ever experienced this. No.
Right, exactly.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
You've got a whole group there that has probably been through the
Exactly.
same thing. So, well, ladies, we need to take a short break, but we will be right back. Don't go away.